Hi, this is just a brief video to show you how you can use the power of APIs to enrich your learning management system or any other platform such as an intranet. An API allows you to bring in information sources, articles from a range of different places to enrich and update your LMS to keep your audience engaged. There's nothing worse than going back into a site 3 or 4 days later and it being exactly the same. We want to engage people to keep them learning continuously about what's happening in their industry. So we start here with a simple site. We've just got a couple of modules on a marketing leadership course, and now we're going to enrich this site using APIs. In this case, we're going to use the Anders Pink API, but you could use other APIs in the same way. So we've simply created a little Anders Pink block here that manages the API, and you can style these as you want. So let's just configure this Anders Pink block. So we'll give it a name. So we'll call it latest on leadership, for example. And now we can select one of our briefings, and I'll show you how to create these in a moment. But let's say we want just the articles from some of the top sites on leadership and culture. We might just want it in the last month, so articles published in the last month, but it could be the last week, whatever we want. Let's say we'll show 4 articles and articles that have an image, and I'll save those changes. So now we have a little block here on the right hand side showing some of the latest articles from Wired and Harvard Business Review on leadership. I could drag this into the middle if I want here, so let's just now edit this because it doesn't look so good as a single column. This time I'll turn it into 2 columns. I'll put the image above it, and if I want I can show a preview of the content, which is the snippet of the first paragraph. So let's save those changes. So now I have some of the latest on leadership for people to read. I can add further blocks here. I can add as many as I want. So this time let's choose a different feed from the API. So maybe this one I want something on marketing trends, because this is of course about marketing leadership. So marketing trends, 1 column is fine. Again, let's just say I want 4, and maybe again just from the last month, articles with an image. I'll save those changes, and to now have a little feed about some of the latest articles on marketing trends. So we can update these as we want to. So we can refresh it if we wanted to. So some of these articles I'm seeing are 4 weeks ago because I set it for a month. The way the Anders Pink API works is we bring through, we think, some of the best articles. So over a 4-week period, it will bring the best ones back based on an algorithm looking at quality. So these will be the best over that 4-week period. But we could say just bring me the best from the last week. We can add further blocks here. We can even, in Anders Pink, you could have just saved articles you want people to read in a folder, so we could do that. So let's say here we're going to use let's do a save folder, and we'll do the best articles on artificial intelligence. So we could call this reading on AI, for example, and let's again just maybe have 4 here, and again we can have an image if we want an image in here. So we've now created a reading list on AI, and I could drag this to the left hand side. So hopefully you can see quite quickly how using an API you can bring in relevant articles, relevant information to enrich your current platform. I'm now going to show you a little bit as how you create those feeds from an API, just so you understand what you can bring in. But you can bring in very targeted feeds. So let's just create a simple briefing using the Anders Pink API. So I go to Anders Pink, I'll create a briefing, and I'll pick some topics. So here let's start with e-learning. So I'm going to bring back articles about e-learning, and I get a preview. Then I can filter by further words, so I can say actually I only want articles on e-learning trends. It will now bring me back just articles on e-learning trends, and I can add as many words into here as I want. I can delete words and say don't show me articles containing these words. You can also limit this to certain sites. I just want articles from these top 20 domains if I want to do that. We've also got a curated list of 6,000 domains. If you want, you can just use that, and it'll only bring back articles from those 6,000 domains, for example. We also suggest sites to you as well that you might want to have a look at. So you can prepare really precise briefings, and then you can pull those through into your learning management system. We could also start with sources if we wanted to, so we could add sources. So we could do a site. So let's say we just want to see articles published by Kineo.com. we can add that source to our briefing. We could add other ones here as well if we want to. Let's say cornerstoneondemand.com. These could be your top competitors or something else. So now I have a briefing just bringing back the latest articles from these two sites. So they all seem to be Cornerstone ones there at the moment. So that's quite a nice way. You can just bring in articles from, say, competitor sites. You can further filter them by must contain keywords if we want. So we could just go those down again. So let's see if any of those articles contain learning. And then we would just bring back articles that have learning in the title. So now we're getting some from Kineo and some from Cornerstone. So hopefully it gives you a sense of just how you can build and save a briefing. And then, as I say, quite quickly, once you have that briefing, you can then add it into here. You can choose this. So marketing trends, we could change this for a different briefing. So let's say this time we want just something about team management skills. So team management tips, let's say. Again, just 1 month. I'll leave the other settings the same. And now I've changed this to a little article about team management tips. So how to motivate your team, 4 ways to inspire your team every day, 6 coaching skills you need. And another one about difficult conversations. So hopefully, again, you see the power of using APIs to enrich your platform. I hope that was interesting and helpful. Thank you.